Geoffrey, what were your expectations for the band? Like from the time you started, did you expect that you guys would be as big as you guys are now?
You always have a dream. Obviously, you're not going into something and thinking, well, you're going to stay at that whatever level, So you always have the notion that you're going to rise and you're going to grow. Um, Obviously, it's a new thing because I've never been in any other organization at that level in entertainment. I mean, really and truly, you can say that we are the top of the game right now, and Triple K is the band, is the golden standard for what booyah music and entertainment is in Dominica right now and across the world. But actually, when I decided to move across to Triple K, as I told you, I was in Roridim, so I called Ulson at the time. He used to be the other keyboardist in Roridim. And I call him and say, yo, them guys from Triple K check me out, and whatever. And so he's like, that's a good thing, man, that's a good thing, man. That's a nice young band, They can maybe do a little South and Punch, and they can maybe do a little thing, they can do a little away, and so I was feeling like, I come from a big touring band. I play in big shows, I all over the place. Like I don't have keyboard in plastic bag, I have my keyboard in my case and all kind of thing, and now you want to tell me about they can do a little thing, they can do a little South and Punch, But I think he was expressing the reality at the time. You understand? But what actually happened was, I think it was just a synergy that happened. It was a right timing. It was God's plan at the time for everybody from all the different angles to come together. And soon after that, though, just wanted to add to that, the inclusion of Daniel Brushhead Philip and Jason Froggy Joseph. I think just what that made the entire thing gel perfectly, and then to rise to that occasion. So it was in 2004 I came in. Jason came in 2006. Daniel was there originally as the engineer, and then he progressed on to the bass player in 2007. And then it's just that unit has been synced and working together from since that time, bringing you all the greatest hits in the world, man.
I have a question. I'm going to pose the question to any one of you. Whoever wants to take on the question, because I don't want to put anybody on the spot. What do you make of the comparison that people make between you guys and WCK? What? I'm for somebody, man.
No, let me take the first note on that one. If with regard to the comparative. Now we have two different comparatives going on in two different time frames, all right? Back in the day when WCK was still, in full force, if you want to call it that, and we were coming up, a lot of people were saying, yo, WCK will never die and Triple K this after this. Watch yourself and this cool out that and whatever, So they started kind of treating us as really the underdogs, which we were at the time, but not giving us any level of encouragement, And I think as time grew on and they realized, yo, Triple K is the band that's going to take over for the next era. Some of them still held on to their perception or their love for WCK, and I'm not saying that in any kind of derogatory way because I am a diehard original WCK fan. Nobody will tell me about WCK. You understand? WCK. Yeah, I mean the bass player for WCK is my first cousin. So there's nothing you can tell me about WCK that I kind of like, But what I'm saying is the people, the fans, and I understand fans because fans will always love what is theirs. They love what is theirs. So I understand when they want to try to say, oh, you're not playing good music again. And back then the booyah was nicer and the booyah. Listen, every generation has a different style, a different adaptation of whatever artistic that they're doing, You can never expect, let's say, Beethoven back in whenever Beethoven was alive to be playing, if he was alive right now, to be playing that same style of music. He would have obviously evolved and changed his style. So booyah music back in 1987, I think when it was created, up until probably 1999, 2000, that was one era, Obviously, we are younger guys. We're coming into the game. We have the foundation of that booyah base, but we're coming in with a different style. We're coming in with something different, with our own unique, diverse backgrounds, you know what I mean? And then it brings us to a different kind of a style. It also brought about an age of being more direct in our approach to the music. When I say more direct in terms of the lyrical content, I think a lot of the times people were afraid of attacking certain issues, attacking certain topics in the way that Triple K felt that they had to attack it. And I think that's what resonated with the world, because people love that direct in your face stuff. And you can see right now, not even just with Triple K, but with all music right now in the world, even R&B, rap, hip hop, soca music, everything like that. Lyrics right now hit you straight in the face. They tell you exactly what's going on. If they want you to split in the middle, they'll split in the middle. You know what I mean? So people at the time, I think the transition, they were not ready for it. We were right there, ready to hit it, a home run, and they had that kind of battle going on, which I think, caused the blossoming of our new style of bouillon to be kept back, to the detriment of the genre, I would say. But it caused a bit of a holdback until right now, when everybody's seeing, what the vision was from way back then.
Do you guys all share that same the same like this? You share the same ideas as Geoffrey in that regard?
Oh yeah.
Now some might also say that and I'm glad that Geoffrey was the one to answer that, but that there was not much of the lyrical content, whereas CK would bring out music that had lyrics. They found it was more of a chant, more of a reading, more of a thing. That's what at least the critics would say. The fans would disagree, but the critics would say that you guys had more of a chant. You guys came out with more of a reading and paid a very little attention to the lyrical content of your compositions. What do you guys have to say?
Well, I guess Benji wanted anyone that can answer, but I don't like agreeing to that statement, because for one, a lot of persons that I don't know say bash, but critique the band, they usually critique on what they hear playing in a car, passing on the side of the road, or what a DJ might play on the radio, or what the neighbor playing at the other side of the road. Most times, it is a 3-hour live that someone took, and they'd cut it up, and they would sometimes not put the songs, they would put what they want. So the rhythm part and the chanting part, they would take that and make a whole mix out of that. So there's the normal guy sitting at his home listening to some Triple K songs, and all he hearing is a rhythm and chant. Now the songs get left back because they just didn't put it in the live. And a lot of persons that critique the band, they never really listen to the band's catalog, because you tell me a guy like let's just call just any Jamaican artist, and let's say for example Popcorn. You'd go and say Popcorn singing smarty lyrics, but have you listened to 30 songs of Popcorn to see if all of them are smarty?
And I'm sure they might not even know that.
Exactly. So we make songs, we play songs, we compose lyrics for different audiences. There are songs you can sit down and just listen to. Give thanks and praise, still standing. So why do they just push these songs aside, and just because tonight they heard but I better let me work you. No, they're gonna crucify me for that alone. So I mean, so when you critique everything under the umbrella, not just take that one day and critique it and then shove everything aside. And
well, I'm being devil's advocate tonight.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Another thing too, the critics might say is that there are a lot of mashups, and mashups is we call it mashups here in Canada, but it might I'll break it down so that everybody, because we might have a different word for it, where you play off of other people's music.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
I brought that. I think I brought that into Triple K. We were not the only band doing that. What happened? We used to travel around the Caribbean and around the world. For example, I'll give you an example. Like Ricardo Drew, we did a show in St. Martin, and Ricardo Drew's set was like 30-minute set, and Ricardo Drew only sang maybe 5 songs of his own in a 30-minute set. Ricardo was just in the band. Stop! Tell the crowd, you know that song? And Ricardo Drew's band was just playing song after song of people own, but in their style. But what we decide to do, there are songs that David likes. There's genres of music that David likes. There's genre of music that Benji likes. That everybody has like. But I figured out why I have to break down the jam to just play a love song as a love song. Dum, dum. I mean, I just gotta make everybody run go. But not that they don't like the love song, but they're not in the mood for it. So I figured, why not just bring the love song in the same tempo, in the same booyah that we're playing? And it just happened that the first year I did that was a Justin Timberlake. I can't remember the name. That's years ago.
What, Mirror on the Wall?
Mirrors.
Mirrors, yes, with a Justin Timberlake.
You see,
I did independent. No, I did that, and that just worked out perfectly. So we just decided that it persons look well. They look out for that every year after Carnival, before Carnival, whatever it is. They like us to do that. There's certain persons that don't like us doing it.
I think it was a brilliant move because you tapped into all genres that anybody can.
Yeah, we do dancehall, we do the love songs, we do reggae, but we just find out that instead of just breaking down the jam and just play a reggae, we just throw everything into booyah. Because like what Ra said, booyah is a mixture of everything.
So you bouillonize it.
We just booyahize everything. But I mean, like everything in the world, not everyone is going to love what you do, and not because a certain set don't like what you do that you're going to stop. But I don't know if the other guys have other points you understand that. But
you want to add to that, Benji?
Well, actually, I wanted to go back earlier when you were speaking of the lyrics and certain songs.
Sure, go ahead.
And I wanted to touch on Seuss, especially because I remember when Seuss, came out and it was constant bashing. Here and there, what kind of song is that? Down in your Seuss and all of that.
band on radio.
Yeah, and then
it was band on radio. Yeah, I remember.
Radio.
Yeah,
because in your song this year, you mentioned, I think Tiki singing it. What's it called?
Yeah.
yeah.
That was one of the lines. Just I know by that.
and then here's the rest of the Caribbean from down south all the way up north enjoying Seuss. You know what I mean? And it made me wonder, like, why are we the ones always the last to support what we have? We always wait for when somebody outside like our food, and we have to, it's almost like we have to get the approval from them to say, okay, yes, you like my food, okay, then, okay, yeah, my food nice. So I believe, moving on, that my fans, our fans, we should just be a little bit more appreciative of Booyah, because the solutions, the Grenadians, the Vinces, let me tell you, anything that comes out from them, they appreciate it. That is theirs. They might have their little, inside fighting like anything else, but they appreciate what is theirs. They both do the rest of the world that, that is mine, and I love that.
Do you think that we have a problem with appreciating Booyah in Dominica?
Oh yeah,
I think.
Oh yeah, that's no questions asked. But Jael is like, you see exactly what Benji was saying. I think, well, Joffrey said it. We were Dominica kind of late in terms of gravitating to something different, because when Benji sang Seuss, when Benji made Seuss, when Triple K Benji made Seuss, you were not hearing songs as raw like that.
As vulgar.
It was vulgar. Then
yes. Every all of the Caribbean artists.
He taught St. Vincent, Grenada, St. Lucia. He taught all these places with that song. Not Triple K, no. They were asking for Benji to come over there and sing that song. He performed in Soca Monarch in St. Lucia. He came second runner-up, I think, in St. Lucia.
Soca Monarch, yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So, and all of that. And it was banned on our radio station. Still banned, I think. But now we have songs like Split in the Middle. And it's played on our radio stations.
And Pie.
Okay, Pie. So what are we actually saying? Even I can bring down another song like Crevice. I want a woman tonight to jam in the crevice. End up with a party spot down in the Middle East in a little party spot, they call it the crevice. We already explained what the crevice is. It is a party spot in the Middle East. But no, right there we have some. No, but I'm serious, Jael, because that is something serious we really have to talk about in Dominica. Because right now we have calypso songs that saying she took out her and go to China.
But I don't even think that is just the problem. I think on a whole, we are a little too sensitive in Dominica. And it's very unnecessary.
But it's one-sided though.
No, it's not actually one-sided though. I think it is based off of who gets offended. So
that is it.
For calypso, they'll do it for Buyo. It's just who gets offended. So you offend me, and I'm going to put a stop to it.
So yeah.
So, and you have a level of power, and you offended.
Yeah, that's.
And you exercise you're gonna show us your muscles.
Yeah. That's what I was heading to, Jael. Because the thing is, what happens is the people in power, or the people that have the ability to make the music and the genre grow and go places, they actually bring in their personal preference into their job, if you want to call it that. You understand? So the people that would have a say in society, the people that would have influence, a certain level of influence, because of their personal preference and not looking at it from a different perspective, they kind of say, "Hey, that's not good," and they wouldn't give it the chance, or they wouldn't allow it to grow or allow it to go. You know what I mean? And that, I think, is what really held us back for some time, because of that type of mentality. You know what I mean? I just want to add something here. Back in the day, I can't remember how many years ago. It's quite a few years ago, 2009 thereabout. You know, we were touring around the world and everything like that. And what we realized at the time was that the in thing coming in was video DJing. They call them VJs, right? Yes. So what we said was, yo, the product that we have right now, you know, in terms of video quality and stuff, it's not on the market. It's not on the level for the market. You understand? Because when you have all these different clubs around Europe and in the US and stuff playing videos, they ask for a certain quality of video, a certain standard, a certain even the colors and all those kind of things there. Now the film companies at the time that we had back in Dominica could not achieve those things. So what we did was we said, yo, we understand what's going on in the market. The people out there, they're loving the Booyah music. They're loving what Triple K has been producing, you understand? But for us to be able to compete and get onto those levels there, we need to be able to produce the quality product that they're looking for, you understand? So at the time, obviously the band didn't have that kind of money to be able to pay for a proper production team and everything like that to get the stuff going. So we did our research, we found out who would be able to do it for us, everything like that. And we approached certain people in authority for them to be able to assist us with that. And we got flatly denied. You understand? Flatly denied. We tried all different avenues, we got denied over and over again to try to get to that level. Now, lo and behold, about 5 or 6 months after our request, we're looking at another show. You know, we went overseas and we're looking at another show where VJ is playing. You know, he's playing his videos and stuff. And guess what? There's a guy in Guadeloupe, an artist in Guadeloupe, who took a rhythm of Triple K, made a song, produced a high quality video, and that song is playing as a Booyah song out there, and people going crazy. My God, Booyah, Booyah! You know, and I'm looking at that and I'm thinking to myself, but listen, we never got the support for us to be able to produce on that quality, on that level, where our product would be showcased at that point there, and then where Dominica would get the revenue and the returns from it. You understand? All because of the people's personal preferences at the time, you know. And it's really sad. It's really discouraging, you know.
Do you think it's only personal preference, or it's a of your product is being undermined somewhat?
So I didn't quite get that. Say it again.
Do you think it's not only a matter of personal preference, but also a matter of they undermine your product and they don't?
Both. Well, I think probably the undermining is because of their preference. I believe it's a preference issue. Just because, you know, they may undermine it because they don't like it personally. You know, not that probably they're not seeing where, okay, this is something that can grow. This is something that, yes, people checking it out. But to them, it's probably more like on a layman's level. You know, to them, it's not of the level that they're looking for.
would you say that you are rated as the biggest band in Dominica? Do you think that you guys are rated as the biggest band in Dominica?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
have it. No.
And I'm not talking about from a fan standpoint. I'm talking about in terms of when you guys book events, whether you book big events, large events, the revenue that you make out of that. Because at the end of the day, you have years, you have mileage and all, you have mileage and all, right?
Mhm.
So y'all should be at a stage whereby when you perform, I don't want to. I'm not gonna. You know what? Screw it.
You have to say it. Say it.
Performing at World Choral Music Festival, right? Do you get the same pay as an artist that is coming from overseas? Do you feel satisfied in what you get paid as artists performing on the same big stage?
No.
Here's another sad fact, Jael. We unfortunately, well, I would say unfortunately, we were blessed to be able to have engaged the services of a booking agent. He's from Trinidad, so he's been doing a lot of bookings for us regionally, internationally, and stuff. And part of his portfolio is to also book any of the Commonwealth events, international Commonwealth events, and Choral Festival is one of these events. So it unfortunately had to take the intervention, I would want to say, of a foreigner or an overseas based booking agent for us to feel like we're even getting close to what we believe that we deserve to get as the top booyah entertainer on in the island. You know what I mean? Because even when you would approach the different committees and so on that responsible, you know, the first thing is like, oh, you know, you have to give back. You have to. I was like, yo, yeah, I understand we have to give back to the country, and that's the thing that Triple K does from its heart. We don't have to give back because you're trying to put on a show and you want to make a profit. Our give back is to the people that actually give to us, you know, which are the fans. So we do all give back from our heart. You know, you don't have to tell us to play for cheap and try to undermine the value of the band because you're trying to make a profit on your event. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, it had to take that for us to feel that we getting somewhere close to it, but we're still not at the level. We're still not at the level where we figure that, because you have to compare all the other international acts that come to perform in Dominica and other places. They get way more than that. One of the things I was remarking to different people is that when you travel as well, Triple K travels, you know, and we go to different places, different festivals around the world. The cash payout that we get, you know, which also has to include us an element of airline tickets, hotel, per diems, and all other sort of expenses, and the performance fee that they agreeing to pay you overseas is still more than the local festivals that haven't got to pay hotel, airline, per diem, or any other expense but your performance fee. You know, so and it's just an amazing thing.
How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
I'd have the word to explain it right now, no?
Really, use all your French with that.
Because Jill, I think that the organizers and them don't realize is that I can call another artist name, for example. Let's just say
Buju.
okay, let's just say Buju. Let's say you pay Buju 50,000.
We didn't pay Buju.
No, I'm just saying. Let's just say you pay Buju 50,000 and you pay Triple K 50,000. How much of Buju 50,000 is going to be put back into the economy? Zero. Almost the 50,000 that you pay Triple K is staying in Dominica. It's paying for lights, it's paying for food, it's paying transport, it's paying electricity, it's paying water, it's paying buying clothes. It is staying here. And that is the only thing you have to pay. You just have to pay the band to show up for the night, and that is it. And I'm not saying, and I don't think not one Dominican artist ever said that because you're paying Buju 50,000, you have to pay me 50,000. It's not that. It's not what I'm saying. But the margin, when you look at the margin of what the foreign artists get as opposed to the local artists, I got 2 nights of the festival, Friday and Saturday night. Watch what happened Friday night when Asa performed. To me, there was no bigger act on that night
than Asa.
Now Saturday night, take us to Saturday night. Everybody jumped for Buju. Buju was the biggest act. Triple K come on after Buju Banton. Did you see the stadium still?
Packed.
Packed. So what does that tell you? After the headline act, and it is still packed, but yet still we will get a pat on our back after the show. Good job. But I don't want the pat on the show. The good job. I want good job.
My
That's
pocket.
what I want. You know.
Now I have a question. I have a follow-up question. Why do you continue to play?
Girl,
The fact that
like a partner from Granby once said, is the love for the music.
Yeah. and I believe the love of country too.
But
Yeah.
it's the love of the music and the love of country, because there have been so many.
but do you think that they use that and that they take advantage of that, but they know that you love
Maybe
music?
they do. Because Jael, there's, for example, we have been playing on the road 4th of November for years. And Jael, if most
Free for free.
Jael, this is a venture.
I know that. You see, I'm a fan of you.
This is a venture that costs the band between $15,000 to $20,000 every year for that 3 hours on the road. All right, $15,000 to $20,000 for that 3 hours on the road every year. That is that. Opening of Carnival in Roseau. That is another $15,000 to $20,000 for free. No one pays for that, you know. Watch Carnival Monday and Tuesday. Carnival Monday, when we finish performing, we are contracted to play until 6 o'clock, you know. After 6 o'clock, the band can pack up and go home.
I remember that. And you
we have, exactly. We have to pay the sound system and everything an extra, you know, to play until 10. Same thing like Tuesday, the costume band, after we play for costume band, that is up till 6 o'clock. We can stop from 6 o'clock. No one is paying from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No one pays for that. But let's just say that we do it 1 year and we just agree we stop at 6 o'clock. You can imagine what the same people that don't help us is going to say? Huh? Can you imagine? There's so many things we do. With Triple K, like the band itself, that's what Geoffrey's been telling you. We do all things from our heart. And Geoffrey maybe don't want me to say it. Most of what we are doing in our helping our people and our friends and our fans, we don't post it on social media. We don't post it on social media. We don't have a phone following us. But let's just say, hey, let's go and give them people that think they don't. It's just out to that.
I know from just my knowledge that you guys have foundations. You guys you've been doing for Junior Monarch. You do all of the plays.
Junior, I don't want you to talk about Junior Monarch, please.
Every year.
Junior, don't talk about Junior. Geoffrey, stop laughing. I don't want to talk about Junior Monarch. No. Let's leave that out.
Right? But I'm just saying that is one of the things, and I know you guys do your donations at your schools. You do you have the scholarships that you guys give out and stuff. And one of the things that always amazes me is that I know how much you guys get paid for some of the events you do because I have inside knowledge of that information, and I'm always so amazed as to how that money splits between all of you, plus your expenses. And I can almost guarantee that when people put things into perspective, I can almost guarantee that per night, you probably don't make more than $150 each. It's like, I mean, like, all you have to pay for transportation, and y'all, what I like is that y'all don't drive your personal vehicles when you perform, because after getting tired after performances and falling asleep at the wheel,
safety,
you have to hire a vehicle, right? To go from Roseau to, let's say, Paybush, that's $120 one way, $120 the other way, if not $180, depending on the bus.
More than that.
Because it's nighttime, they might charge you $400.
Right.
Right? So you probably just the bus ride down. Plus, you have to pay some level of there should be some level of insurance where your equipment is concerned, because you're going and play. Sometimes you play on a rain. When rain starts and y'all don't stop. Like, I don't even understand. It's like y'all just shift and I see people
Just go in the dry spot. Yeah, just go in the dry.
and they'll continue, right? So there's that aspect. There's the food aspect. Or you always dress like all you quadruplets. So you always looking on point. So you always have to. Or you always looking the part, right? Plus, or you have other expenses that obviously you would accumulate. I find it hard that people don't respect that you have to appreciate what you guys are doing